My story's called Beauty and the Beast. There was a town by the sea and a row of boats, and nearby a large house, and a father lived there. The boats, he owned them. He had a lot of money. He had 3 daughters. All were beautiful. The third was actually named Beauty because she had a beautiful heart, just a soft heart. But the first and second daughter, no, they were wicked and selfish. So, all the boats were in a horrible, horrible storm and destroyed. So now all the treasure was lost, and the family's money dwindled. And so the father and his family were poor, and they moved away to a farm. And they had to work hard. A few years went by, and the father heard that one boat had arrived safely to the city. So he wanted to go check it out. But before he left, his 3 daughters, he asked them, "Is there any present you want?" The first and second said, "Oh, we want jewels and fancy clothes." The third daughter, Beauty, what'd she want? 1 rose. So the father went to the city. He climbed up the boat, looked around, but there was no treasure. He learned that people can't come and taken all the treasure because he had a lot of debt. Now his debt was paid off. He was sad. He couldn't buy the presents. So he went home. He walked in a forest at night. He was lost. Oh my gosh, he saw a castle. A huge castle. Wow. It was awesome. He walked forward, knocked on the door, opened up and looked inside. There was no people, but there was tables all in a row and food set out on plates and drinks. So he just started eating, drinking, and fell asleep. In the morning, he was ready to go home. Went out the door. There was a rose garden, and he was looking at it and suddenly remembered Beauty wanted a rose. So he looked around. Ah, that one's the best. He picked it, smelled it, but suddenly a beast, an ugly creature, tall, confronted the father angrily. He said, "That's my favorite rose. I was kind to you, gave you food and drink, but my rose, you stole it. So you have to die." "Oh, please," said the father, "let me be free. The rose is for my daughter." "Okay. You can give the rose to your daughter, it's fine, but you have to come back, or your daughter has to come. Your daughter must come willingly. You can't force her." Father was upset, but he accepted this. Jewels, fancy clothes, the beast gave these to the father as a gift. "Thanks," said the father, and hurriedly went home. He arrived, opened the door, said, "Hey, come here, there's presents, come here." So the 3 daughters came up, oldest to youngest. He gave presents to the oldest daughter. "Thank you," she said, and ran off. And to the middle, "Thank you," and she ran off. "Oh, Beauty, I have a special gift for you." "It's a rose, here you go." Thanks. "Oh, why are you sad?" "Oh, No, he said, I'm fine. Come on, she said, tell me. So the father explained to Beauty, and she listened and understood, and she decided herself to go to the castle. And so she walked there and arrived, and the beast graciously welcomed her. Now you are the mistress, he said, which means like a home manager. I will serve you. And the beast gave her lots of gifts. Fancy clothes, food, other presents. He just lavished her with gifts. And those two became friends. They chatted. And every night, the beast would walk to Beauty's room, knock on the door, open the door and said, "Will you marry me?" "No," she'd say, "sorry." Closed the door and walked dejectedly away. Beauty would get into bed, sleep, and dream of a handsome prince, and he would ask her, "Why are you always saying no?" "Marry the beast? I can't. I really do love him, but just as a friend, only as a friend." So, the beast and the prince, did Beauty connect them? No. Beauty, well, she convinced herself that the castle had a jail somewhere. And so she walked around searching for this jail, searching. In her mind, she thought, I think the prince, the beast must have locked him away. Yeah. So she searched and searched. Did she find the prince? No, never. So time went along, and Beauty had a fancy life, but she missed home. So she asked the beast, "Please, will you let me visit my home?" "Okay," he said. "Okay, you can. 1 week. Exactly 1 week." "Okay," she said. "Oh, here's some gifts," said the beast. "There's a magic mirror. If you look inside, you can see what's happening at the castle if you look inside the mirror. Oh, and a ring. It's special." Okay, what's it for?" "If you turn it 3 times, then suddenly you will arrive at the castle." "Oh, well, thank you so much." She gave him a hug, said bye, and walked home. She opened the door, and the two sisters, said, "Hi, Beauty." And they looked at her up and down. Man, her clothes are fancy. Wow, she looks healthy. She looks good. Oh, they were jealous. Well, the sisters, they learned that Beauty could visit 1 week, and when it was over, she had to go back to the castle. So what did those two sisters do? They cut up onions, put them in their eyes, and it looked like they were crying. And they said to Beauty, "Oh, please stay 1 day more, please, oh." Oh, Beauty, her heart was touched. "Okay," she said, "I'll stay 1 day, 1 more day. Okay." What did those two sisters really want? They wanted the beast to become angry and eat Beauty. So what happened? Beauty started to feel guilty, and she looked in the mirror. Oh my gosh. She saw the rose garden, the beast lying, dying, almost dead, because his heart was broken. Well, she looked in the mirror, turned the ring, suddenly arrived at the castle. The beast was lying on the ground. Beauty walked over, knelt down, cried over him. "I love you," she said. 1 tear fell, hit the beast, and suddenly the beast was alive, and he became the handsome prince. Well, they hugged each other, and cried. And in a little bit, the Beast explains that his father, the king, died, and there was a war, and his mother had to defend the kingdom. She had to. So who took care of him? An evil fairy. Well, the prince grew up, and the fairy was like, hey, she tried to seduce him. Well, he said no, and the fairy was angry, and the fairy changed him into an ugly creature, a beast. Well, now the curse was broken because Beauty loved him truly. So the prince and Beauty married, and they lived happily ever after. The end.